What's going on YouTube? Gaming Tech TV here, do a little review. Got a couple gaming mouse pads in, one being the Lenovo Y Gaming Mouse Mat, and the second being the Corsair Gaming MM200 Mouse Mat. So we'll start with the Lenovo. That is my personal acquisition for my gaming mouse pad. The dimensions on this one, 350 millimeters by 250 millimeters with a 3 millimeter depth, or thickness. So most of that thickness is going to come from the braided edge that goes around the perimeter of the pad. And really, I think that that's a nice touch. Gives a little bit more quality, attention to detail, fit and finish, aesthetics, whatever you want to call it. But there are some issues with that as well that you might run into. So that being said, here's a good look at the braided or stitched edge around the pad. And if you're wearing anything on your wrists, whether that's a bracelet, a watch, long sleeves, and you're using the mouse on your mouse pad, it does tend to catch a little, as you can see with my bracelet. And it's probably going to come down to personal preference. It's not a huge issue for me, but I did take a little bit of double-sided super thin tape and just stick one on the top and the bottom so that the pad doesn't move at all. I don't ever have to move my pad, so that's fine with me. And it might come into play, after a lot of use. It might start to get chewed up a little bit and start to show some wear. That's kind of looking further into the future, but it's a possibility. So like most mouse pads, you're going to have your rubber grip on the bottom. Nothing really too special about that, other than with the size of this pad, especially compared to the Corsair, having used both. The Lenovo does tend to move around a little bit more, and I think that's mostly just due to smaller size and a smaller footprint, having less rubber connected to the desk. But again, my solution was throw a little piece of double-sided tape and it doesn't really move at all. So I really liked the fit and finish on this. I've got an all black and red kind of setup with my gaming headset, with my backlit keyboard, and then with the LEDs that are running behind my monitor being red. So that was really something that stood out to me. And then also I like the Big Lenovo branding, the big Y for the Y Gaming series, which they've got Y Gaming headset, Y Gaming mouse. Lenovo's not as much into the gaming peripherals as some of the competition out there, but it is kind of nice that they're putting out some high-end stuff for gaming. So moving on to the Corsair. Definitely bigger. You're going to gain an inch in height from both the top and the bottom, and as you can see, it's going to be a little bit more plain Jane or discreet without having the big Y or the big Lenovo branded. So you do see the Corsair symbol, and they've been doing the yellow on all their stuff for a little while now. And personal preference, I like the Lenovo. It's a little bit louder, but I can definitely see people that don't want that. They just want a plain black, nicely labeled mouse pad, so this could be for them. The dimensions, 360 millimeters by 300 millimeters, and then a slightly thinner 2 millimeter thickness. And I think that mostly comes down to the braided edge around the perimeter of the Lenovo pad. But definitely don't run into it catching as much, but it might be a simple thing of having more rubber touching the desk with the bigger footprint. So that's a very real possibility as well. This one is about 20 bucks on Amazon, so not terribly expensive. There's definitely more expensive options out there, and this is the size medium, so there's also bigger options of this exact same design and pad. There's a large, and then there's a wide as well that will go under your keyboard and mouse at the same time. So just doing a comparison for size here, you can see that it's definitely bigger, the Corsair is, which is something to definitely consider. And then another thing you can notice is that this Lenovo pad has more of a sheen to it, and I think that that's also maybe the material that's getting dust and little pieces of hair and stuff caught in it. So something to note as well if you're in a dirtier environment, I guess. But the Lenovo does not say that it's optimized for high DPI, whereas the Corsair says optimized for high DPI. I don't think that you're going to notice a difference. I think that Corsair just went that extra step and put it on the box. The rubber base, pretty much the same as the Lenovo as far as material and design goes. And then other than the size, you know, they're very similar. So finish and fit and feel, I give to the Lenovo, but size, definitely the anti-skid base being bigger, you can tell with stability. Mousing across both of them, they both feel very similar, and ultimately half the price the Lenovo is compared to the Corsair. So that's something that you'd have to weigh pretty heavily as well. I'm very pleased with the Lenovo. It's going to be a little bit more rare as far as mouse pads go, because I think majority of people are going to go with these gaming peripheral specific companies, whereas Lenovo is a little bit new in that aspect. But very happy. I like the braided edge. I think it looks really cool. And that's it. That covers just about everything. If you guys have questions, if you have comments, please feel free down below to put those out there, and we will respond. And give us a like and give us a subscribe. Thanks, guys.